Back alley, single bowl, blood on my shirt. Pulled out the bottle, skipped the hurt. No hands, no gauze, no place to go. Just amber on the wound in the city below. They'd scream here, I know they would. I bit down hard the way I should. Poured it over, held the wall. Didn't flinch, didn't fall. The flesh can burn, the flesh can tear. The hand that holds the bottle's still there. No scream in this room, no sound at all. Just the hiss of a man who won't fall. 3 fingers deep, the shaking clears. Wound looks worse before it heals. Eyes on the bowl, teeth on nothing. City outside hears none of this coming. They fold here, I've seen them fold. I poured it over, kept my hold. Didn't look away, didn't break. Paid whatever it had to take. The flesh can burn, the flesh can scar. The thing inside, it travels far. No scream in this room, no open door. Just a man who's done this before. Pain's just the body saying it's alive. I know, I know, I know. Pour it over, breathe it through. Don't give the dark the just the bottle, the wound, and the shape I'm in. The flesh burned, I didn't make a sound. That's the whole point. So thick you can't see God. Engine running, that's enough. No orders from the sky today, just the throttle and the rough. Treads don't stop for burning fields, don't stop for wire, don't stop for walls. Every line they drew to hold us, every line they drew just falls. Fear's just noise at the wrong frequency. I turned it off a long time back. The only thing ahead is forward, there is no looking back. Chariot through the underworld, smoke and steel and open throttle. Every wall becomes a memory, every line becomes a battle. I wait for the road to clear, I make the road, I make the rule. The front line moves where I move, that's the only everything they need in school. And they need in school. Crew doesn't speak when the engine speaks. Hands on the iron, eyes up front. Commander sit in clean rooms praying. I sit in fire and I hunt. Broke their left flank before breakfast. Hit their center before noon. They built the line to stop an army. I built speed to hit it soon. Doubts just wait on the wrong chassis. I stripped it out before we rolled. The underworld's got nothing on us. We've been running through it cold. Chariot through the underworld. Dust and blood in full compression. Every defense becomes a memory. Every stronghold learns its lesson. I don't ask which way is forward. I point the barrel, that's the way. The front line ends where I am. That's the only thing left to say. They dug the trenches deep and wide, built the walls up thick with pride. I didn't go around or under. I drove straight through like rolling thunder. No hesitation in the iron, no mercy in the track. When the chariot hits the underworld hits back. Chariot through the underworld, engine hot and tread still turning. Every line they thought would hold us, every line just keeps on burning. I am the road, I am the rule, I am the front and what comes after. The underworld can have the wreckage. I'll be running through the next chapter. The dust cleared, we were still moving. We're always still moving. That's the rule. Every man on this ship has his eyes on me. I had my eyes on nothing. Just the water, just the wheel. The sky came down an hour ago. The horizon's gone, the compass spins. Every man below has found his God. I found mine in the grain of this wood. Rain like glass across my face. Hands so raw the wheel feels fused. They're waiting for a sign from me. I got nothing but my grip and the decision not to drop. No shelter here, no voice above the wind, just the wheel. And the man who won't let go of it. I don't know if we make it through, but my hands are on the helm and my hands are staying there. Sink the ship if you can. Take the mast, take the sail, take it all. The one thing this storm won't take is the grip of the man who refuses to fall. I've seen men let go before, hands up, eyes down, done deciding. I've been close to that quiet, standing at the edge of how simple it would be. But something in the way out praying it ends differently. No map reads this, no star cuts through this dark, just the wheel. And a man who knows his part. I don't know if we make it through. I've stopped asking that question. My hands are on the helm. That's the only answer I have. Sink the ship if you have to. You can have everything else, but not this. Not these hands, not this grip. It doesn't feel like strength. It feels like the absence of the decision to let go. One more second, I'm on my love. One more second, until the seconds become the thing that saved the ship. Beneath me, but you'll never pry these hands free. The storm passed. I was still holding the wheel. I didn't notice it was over until the water went quiet and my hands were still there. Didn't move his gear right away. Left his jacket on the hook that day. His coffee cup still on the floor. Nobody touched it, that's the unspoke law. Tight quarters feel wide when a man is gone. The iron holds its shape, but not for long. I said his name once to the dark inside. That's all a captain gets to do, that's all I'm owed to cry. No eulogy inside this hull. No flag, no flowers, no bugle call. Just the engine and the empty space. And a crew that won't look at his place. The empty seat still knows his weight. The empty seat still holds the shape of a man who rode his iron through hell. A man I couldn't bring back, couldn't keep, couldn't tell. I don't talk about it, that's the rule. I don't break in front of the crew. But the empty seat sees everything. The empty seat knows what I couldn't do. The next man, climb on in. Watched him hesitate, watched him begin. Sit in the dead man's place and breathe. That's what war asks, that's what we need. I checked the hatch the way he always did. Twice on the left, once on the lid. Old habit from a man who taught it right. Missing most at the start of a fight. No moment of silence in the field. No time to let the wound congeal. Just the order and the throttle down. Swallows it without a sound. The empty seat still knows his name. The empty seat still plays the game of pretending that he's just outside, taking air, coming back still alive. I don't say it, that's the code. I don't put it down, I just reload. But the empty seat sees what I keep. The empty seat holds what I can't speak. Commanders don't get to grieve out loud. Not in front of the crew, not in the crowd. So I take it to the hours before dawn. It's just me and the iron and the gun. He was better than the war deserved, sharper than anything I've observed. Wrote this whole like he was born inside it. Now there's a space and I can't hide it. carry someone new. The empty seat would do what seats do. Hold the weight of whoever climbs in next. Hold the shape of someone I can't forget. I don't mourn where the crew can see. That's not the captain they need me to be. But the empty seat knows what I keep. The empty seat is where I go to be. I didn't move his gear for 3 days. Nobody said anything. Nobody had to. That's how it works in the iron. The body's the first thing to go, then the warmth, and the version of yourself you thought was permanent. What's left after that is the only part that matters. That gets into the marrow before it gets into the room. I've been in this place before, not this room, but this particular kind of strip, where everything soft has been removed. Then what remains is structural, bone and will, and the bare fact of still being here, when here is the hardest place to be. Break the surface, break every layer down to nothing. You'll find the wall, you'll find it was there before you started. You can have the outer walls, take them stone by stone if you need to. The deepest part of me has never been touched. I am the thing inside the ruin, still standing, still standing. There is a code that teaches you not to colder weather. Of a room where hope stopped being practical. Past the point where most men renegotiate their terms. There's a room inside the room untouched, where the thing that makes you what you are sits quietly and waits. Fracture everything I own, the core doesn't fracture. The core is what remains when there is nothing left to lose. You can have the outer walls, let them fall, let the cold come through. The deepest part of me has never learned to break. I am the thing inside the ruin, still standing, still standing. I've seen the version of myself that almost accepted what the cold air said about me. Almost. But in the deepest room, something sat very still and said no. Not loudly, just no. The way a wall says no. By being there, you took everything you could carry, left the room empty, but the money in it, I was already the room. Dead end, 3 behind, 2 ahead. The kind of quiet that comes right before something loud. I've been in tighter spots than this one, but none of them had this particular crowd. No exits left, no angles I hadn't checked. The math came out the same every time. So I leaned against the brickwork and I reached for what was mine. 1 cigarette, 1 lighter, 1 long drag. The smoke went up the way all things do eventually. They watched me like I lost my mind. I watched them like I had all evening. You want me rattled? I got nothing left to rattle. You want me scared? I burn that somewhere back in the first chapter. If this is where it ends, let it end clean. 1 last drag before the curtain comes in. I made my peace with every room that broke me. The only thing left now is the ember in the dark. Is the ember in the dark. There's a kind of calm that only comes from having nothing. When the last card's played and the table's going cold, I've watched men begging moments just like this one. I figured I'd just smoke instead of fold. The city never promised me a clean exit. The streets I walk don't owe me anything soft, but I'll be damned if the last thing that they see is a man who forgot what composure costs. You want the last word? The smoke got there before you. You wanna see me break? Not in this alley, not tonight. If this is where it ends, then let it end mine. 1 last drag, 1 last look at the sky. I've bled on better corners than this one. The only thing I owe this moment is to me to standing up. It's to me to standing up. Funny thing about a dead end, it's only dead if you came here to live. I came here for something else entirely, something that doesn't have a name yet. So let them wait, let them watch the ember, let them wonder what a man thinks about. In the last 30 seconds I'm thinking about nothing, I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking this is a good cigarette. Without apology, 1 last drag on everything I've lived through. The smoke's